Okay, so is yeah, Jivraj is here. Okay, Jivraj, you can take over.
Hello. Can someone confirm if I'm audible? Because I'm using some other operating system. So I just wanted to get a confirmation.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, all right. Mm, Just trying to figure out TDS. Like,
Jivraj, everything okay?
can you send me a link to TDS portal?
Yeah, okay.
Study dot in.
I've sent it in the chat window.
Okay, yeah. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
So you are able to see Firefox browser, right?
Yeah, I'm able to see the Firefox browser. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. For some reason, it's not visible for me. So I thought it's not visible. I don't know what are these features. Anyway, yeah, Talvin, you have anything to ask?
Yeah, before that, I want to ask. In the markdown of like our main page is there, right? TDS page. There is no project.
Markdown.
Yeah, no, TDS, that one. Yeah, if you
This
see,
page, right?
yeah, there is no project two details.
Yeah, it is here, right?
No, left side if you see the sidebar.
Sidebar. Okay, yeah, it is not there.
Yeah, yeah, just add this one. Okay. People might think it's not really set up.
Even these FAQs are not there after 5th of February.
I did not observe that. Okay, yeah. There was something.
Okay, okay. But I think if we go to this page and over here, it is visible. Okay, then it will get added here. Mm. So this is one tool, Notebook LM. I have used it for I don't know what I was doing with it on 2nd March. What I was doing it with on 28th. But yeah, this is some tool. It is kind of RAG tool, retrieval augmentation generation. So if you give some sources to it, so you can attach any file. At the moment, I don't have any files downloaded because I just installed a new OS today only. Okay. So right now it have this mock underscore ROE4.pdf. It is some file, and then you can select this file, and let us say if I just upload some book or something. Like what can I upload at the moment? Let me see from here if I can do something. So if I go to academics and then diploma level, diploma level, and I think there is one book in MLF. Show all, and where is the book? I thought there should be book something. Okay, let us say if you have some book, then what you can do, you can provide that book as a reference over here. You can upload that book to your local machine, and once you upload, basically you can upload 50 files over here, and then you can ask questions from these resources. And if you ask any question, it will generate answer from that response, that file itself. Let me check what is there
Yuvraj,
in this. Yes, am I
Yuvraj,
audible? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you are. I'm sharing a link to a book on the chat box.
Is it downloadable?
Yeah, it's a GitHub link. You can download it.
Okay, but then all right, we can download it and then we'll ask some question. Hmm. It should be specifically from this book if we can ask something. Uh, Sharansh, have you gone through this book?
Yeah, I have read the entirety of
So
it.
is there something that is unique that we can ask from this book itself?
Actually, this book contains a very simplistic version, a very simplistic explanation of what are neural networks and how you can create your own neural networks. So yeah, we can ask them about some deep learning questions like what are neural networks, what are neurons, and that stuff. What do you think?
Okay, but all right, that is very generic, but okay, let's try that. It's been downloaded, I guess.
Maybe you can try and ask something from that part one, where there is something probably very specific to that book. You look at
Like about the
back.
author or someone.
If you go back to that book and
Sure.
have a look,
Yeah.
it says easy for me, hard for you. Let's just have a quick look. If there's something specific we can ask from there. Uh,
So most basic question, should we ask something related to author or someone?
yeah, could do. We could also instruct it to give its answers based on the book's context only.
Yeah, that I can do. All right, this is this book we have got. Let me first upload it here. Okay, let me open it and copy the path. And let's upload it to which tab is it? I don't remember. Is this one or this one or this one? Okay. Like create a new one and then I'll add resource and then upload a resource, and over here from downloads, select this book. So now we can ask any question related to this book itself over here. It will not hallucinate, it won't generate anything outside this book, so it will try to generate response from this book itself. Like if I ask explain about neural networks, and then I think it will fetch. So if I just click over here and then if I go click to this point, then it gets me to that portion of this book where it have been written. So like it gets to different portions, so it generates this information from this book itself, and then it points to different sections of the book where these information is being written, and then I can even generate the audio explanation out of it. So like if I ask something and then I can generate some audio out of it, and then it will generate some audio. It will take a long time, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So it used to take a long time. Anyway, I won't do that. So this is something you can practice with. You give some reference, some sources, and then it will generate based on that source itself.
Jivraj,
Yeah,
I have
Sharansh.
I have uploaded one more link in the chat box. So this is actually the entire book of the Song of Ice and Fire, the book series on which the Game of Thrones universe is based upon. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
if
So
you're talking about,
Sharansh,
yeah,
like for generating some audio story out of this book, this
yeah,
tool
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah,
do. Like you can ask a particular
exactly,
uh,
yeah.
question, a specific question, very specific question, and then whatever response it generates, you can transcribe it to audio, and whatever it will generate, it will be very good. Like if you hear to it,
Yeah.
it will sound like realistic.
So if you guys have watched the first season of Game of Thrones, and if you just want to give it a try using this PDF, then you can go ahead and do that. So it would be a fun experience for you, all of you. By the way, Jivraj, if you want, you can just demonstrate this one as well, uh, because neural networks was something very generic and just like you said. So if you want, you can just demonstrate this as well.
Yeah, that is something that I can do.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyway, I won't be able to generate the audio. But if we ask something, and then if we ask to generate audio, I have heard the audio that it generates. It's very good. I mean,
So
like,
there is also an available sample that's on the tools in data science site itself. So there's a podcast in data analysis. I don't know how many of you have listened to it. And it is, if you go to the top of data analysis, it says data analysis introduction podcast. If you click on
yeah,
that,
this is the one.
it's really, really phenomenal.
And I think this is generated by Notebook LM, right?
Yes, it's generated by Notebook. In fact, I would use the previous one, data sourcing, because that's even better actually. as an example.
This is the one.
That one doesn't have. Okay, okay. Because there
No,
was
this one doesn't
one,
have.
I think, last term, and it was good. Try data preparation. Because I remember one of them had a very good either data sourcing or data prep.
Uh, that one, I think it also had some video as well, right?
See. Anyway, we can try one of these and see because it's already available. It's already been generated.
Yeah.
By the way, just out of curiosity, how many of you have heard the podcast?
Yeah, this. I think students generally don't used to open this portal. They just used to open GAs, I think, mostly. Okay, no one watched the podcast. All right, guys. So, like statistical analysis such as correlation and then regression and then forecasting and then outlier using spreadsheets. This is something that is there in this module, and then this aggregate using Python and then databases, and then geodata using GeoPandas and QGIS, and then this is plot visualizing geodata using maps and these things, and then this is network analysis using networks, and then this is storytelling. All right, let's go through these things. Sharansh,
Yeah,
can you take this part like correlation, regression, and
yeah,
forecasting?
sure, sure, sure,
I
sure.
don't have access to paid version of Excel.
Yeah, yeah, sure. All right, guys, is my screen visible? Just a second. Okay, is my screen visible? Just give me a thumbs up. All right. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, so this is the data analysis part. So in this particular module, we are getting started with data analysis. Okay, so up till now you have seen how you can use developer tools, how you can extract data, then how you can kind of use LLMs to extract data or perhaps do some tasks for you. Then we, after project one, we saw how you can source data. So data sourcing is basically from where you can actually get the data from. Okay, so there are multiple other ways you can get the data. You can get it from Kaggle. Let's say that's one really, it's it's a highly used platform to get data from. Then there are multiple API endpoints you can get the data, nominating Wikipedia and whatnot. Then we taught you about data preparation. Okay, and now we are talking about finally data analysis. Okay, so this is actually an entire pipeline in which data is actually processed, which is firstly you have to identify the data source, then you have to prepare the data for some kind of analysis, which includes like manipulating values, filling none values, and just making data eligible for some kind of analysis, some kind of sane analysis. Okay, so now the part comes of data analysis. And over here, we are going to look at multiple analysis techniques that we can perform on data. And first and foremost, we're getting started with correlation with Excel. Okay, so correlation is something that you guys must be really familiar with, because it was a question in ROE, it was the last question in ROE, and perhaps the most easiest one to get through. Yeah, so it was just kind of free marks for anyone who tried to attempt that question. Okay, so let me see where my data is. Okay, I'll just head back to the TDS portal and I'll download that particular JSON file. Yeah. And TDS shape, and this is week 6. All right. So my data is saved, and yeah, so I will be using this particular JSON file for demonstrating the correlation part, because that will work perfectly well, because I have the answer to that question as well. Okay, so in this question we were asked to give the PSN correlation coefficient, and that's what we are going to calculate. Okay, so now you guys must be thinking that this is not a CSV file, this is not an Excel file, this is a JSON file. How can I use Excel in this? Right? Can anyone answer this question? How can I use Excel to actually work upon a JSON file? Anyone? Dipanshu, Projwal, Tanya, Josh, Nilima, and student number 1729. Anyone? Anyone with a slightest idea or just a guess? How are we going to approach this problem? How can I actually use Excel to, you know, work with a JSON file? Anyone?
So convert this file online.
Yeah, that's a pretty good suggestion. We can convert it to online, but what's a much more faster way to do it? All right, so I'll show you guys. So in Excel, so Excel is a really robust tool. It's a really, it's a very well made tool, I would say. You can do a lot of things on Excel, which you can do in Pandas or Python. Okay, so one of the things is importing JSON files, and for that, just go to the data tab. Just go over here. Just go to this get and transform data options, this particular panel, and click on get data. Okay, just click over this button. Then it will ask you from a file, surely from a file, and then from JSON. Okay, so this is how you can actually access JSON data in Excel. So rather than going to a particular site, search, first of all, just opening Google and searching for it, converting it to CSV, and then perhaps it will charge, it will ask you to, just pay me something so that I could do it. Otherwise, there are multiple free options as well. But that's a really long task. That's not a much time consuming task, but it's a long task, I would say. So it's simply you can load your JSON files in Excel using this technique. So yeah, just click on get data in the data tab, then from file and from JSON. Right now, let's hope it works. Where is it? Investigation, and this should be, yeah. Let's calculate correlation, import. Let's check. Okay, so this is like this. Okay, let me just inspect the file once. So it's over here. Okay, this is the one. Here it is. Okay, so the file is like this. Okay, and then it should give me what I'm expecting it to give. It's quite unusual. So I guess it was. Let me ask GPT once, because the thing is that it's not retrieving those values. It's actually treating them like one. This should work. It won't work. I guess I have to run a query over here, then it would work. So this is this. No. Excel. Then copy the JSON text you provided, open Excel and paste into Avon. You paste the JSON definition directly. Okay, copy the JSON text you provided on Excel and paste into Avon. Go to data from table ranges, transform, parse, JSON. Okay, let's do one thing. It's not going to work. Yes. The thing is, guys, the thing is that usually Excel expects you to give JSON in this format. Okay, so if this is your JSON, it expects you to give it like this. Okay, now there should be the values of your data. It's expecting the data to be like this, but the thing is that our data is not like that. Okay, so that's one thing that you have to remember. If you don't have the data in this format, then it perhaps will create some problems. Okay, just like it's creating for me. I can just parse through this entire thing in Python and then create it, but that would be much time consuming. So we can do one thing. We can create another JSON file with the appropriate schema we are looking for, or else you can do this as well. Let me try this once and then check if it works or not. Yeah, just remove everything from here, copy, and just close this, discard, and paste it right here. Then I need more wrapping, text. Now it's asking me to an Excel paste okay, data from table ranges. Data table range. Okay, and here it is. My table has headers. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, and then transform. Select transform parse JSON. Transform and sparse. Sparse JSON. It's giving me an error. All right, let's do one thing. Instead of putting our head into it, let's do one thing. Let's give it the expected JSON schema it's asking us for. Okay, and let it be. Then and should be like this, and I will make it like this. Yeah, absolutely. And now let's close this. Discard. Save. Delete this one. Delete. Okay. So my new file is saved. Let's go over here and okay, it was data. Get data from file from JSON. Again, this calculate coordination import, and this should work hopefully. Yeah, it works. Okay. To table. Okay. Let's see. What is it giving us? It's giving us this. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's ask. Let's see if I can generate some data myself for Excel to be able to load it. No, so what I'm asking. Uh, Post this. Mm. Well, let's do one thing. Because all these approaches are not working, I guess it's better to just resort back to searching, just using an online tool to do the stuff for us. Okay, so it would be convert. So Tanya, we are doing what you suggested. It's not working that way because yeah, Excel is a really robust tool, but sometimes it backstabs you. Okay, so just like it backstabbed me. So I would be doing to JSON to Excel. Okay. By the way, most of the times this uh, opening up this file using data and then get data from it usually works, but now for some time it's not working. So I don't want to waste all of our time over here trying to figure it out. So let's just convert it using this tool. Okay. So this is done. Yeah, it's done, and copy and JSON time, and then do is convert it's one sheet. Yeah, let's convert. Convert. And let's call it. Okay. All right, guys. So this is able to work, and yeah, now we can see that we have two columns, and these two columns they have the data that we were expecting them to be. So we have about 10,000 rows, and now to calculate the correlation between these two columns, what we have to do, it's pretty simple. It's just, I guess it was correl function. Yeah, it's the correl function, and this pass these two arrays in this correl function just like this, and close it, and it will give you this particular value. So let's just check if this is the exact value which I have filled in my ROE summation. So that's the exact value. It's minus 0.914, and here it is minus 0.91417 as well. Okay. So this is how you can actually calculate the correlation and get the answers. Any questions over there? Anyone? Anyone, any questions, or should we move ahead? Okay, I guess we should move ahead. So the next question is regression with Excel. All right. So for this, I guess I have plenty of data to work with. Let me have a look at my data sets. Check. Or perhaps we can use famous data set which is renowned for regression. So let's just check for linear regression data sets. Okay, let's check. So this one. Okay, here it is, car price data set. And what all do we have? So by the way, guys, if you don't know, and that would be pretty unusual, but if you don't know, this is the Kaggle website, which contains like it's kind of haven for those who are working in ML, those who are working with ML, machine learning models, deep learning models, AI models. Okay, so there are multiple data sets present over here. They are competing regularly. They are hosting competitions. Moreover, the MLB project is a Kaggle competition which you have to complete. Okay, so you can deploy your models, you can create code files, you can also learn from Kaggle as well. So that's I guess a very new feature which they have added. I haven't checked it in a long time. Okay, so let's check our data. Okay, so it contains multiple these types of things, what we can do is, okay, I just need a simple linear regression data, nothing much fancy, because uh, when we are working with linear regression, we are expecting numerical features rather than uh, uh, categorical features. Okay, so it's giving me Boston housing. Yeah, Boston housing. Pretty much. So let's just see. Okay, so it's load Boston. All right. So what I will do is we get back to Python, and I hope I have sklearn installed. Okay, load Boston. We go here, printing it. So let's check the TF once. Okay, has been removed from scikit-learn. Wow. Okay. Let's just download a really simple data set. Open data sets. Yeah. Skip me. Yeah, tell me. Please just.
Yeah, how do we create Jupyter file inside the VS Code?
So that's pretty simple. Just create a new file and
Okay.
give it a name. Let's say Kelvin. I'm giving it
Oh,
this
just
name.
dot.
And IPyNB. We'll create a Jupyter notebook.
Okay, and it will work. It will download everything of its own.
No, it won't
SQL.
download everything. You have to select the kernel for that. For example, if you are using a virtual environment, then you have to select the virtual environment for this kernel. So just
Okay.
click over there, just select kernel, and then you can select the virtual environment. So over here, I'm using this virtual env. That's why
Okay.
it's suggesting me this. Otherwise, if you just click over, just select another kernel, you can select a different, the global Python environment as well.
Okay, fine,
So
fine.
these are,
Okay.
yeah. So these are multiple envs which I can use.
Okay. I was familiar with Colab. That's why I just
Yeah. So for for okay, so this is so done. Wish market data software information system. The thing is that I don't want to show you a really complex linear regression data set, because in linear regression basically we have multiple categorical variables as well. So categorical variable means textual data as well. So I don't want to show you that, because that would just just make things much complex. So I'm just searching for a really simple data set, or what we can do is uh, we can just
can
skip
we
these two
try
and just
iris data?
iris. Oh yeah, exactly, iris data. Yeah. But that's classification. Tell them.
Yeah, correct.
That's classification.
That's classification, but yeah,
Yeah. I
that's
guess on
numerical.
Kaggle there was a solved not linear regression. I solved I guess it was sign in as well. So there is a really famous linear regression data set present on Kaggle, which is about housing prices. Which is
Titanic also it's there, right? That's
Titanic also it's there, yeah. But Titanic is again classification if the person survived or not, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Many are
I
there.
guess. Yeah. So there is a check the surface of sign out. Sign in with Google original ID.
Hypertext
So,
is there. That's classification. That's regression.
I actually solved a competition, participated in a competition, and it had all that. It was a really good linear regression data set. That's what I'm searching for. But again, I'm not able to. What we can do is we can create our own data set. Okay, so yeah, we can create our own data set and try to run the. So okay, so it's load diabetes. Is that present? Nascalan. And tell them, are you sure this is not a classification?
Yeah, yeah. Ordinary least square only. It's
Okay, okay, okay.
I searched in net only. It's scalar.
Okay. Okay, this looks good. This looks very good. T dot data frame. All right, so this looks absolutely good. And what we're looking for, we also want a target variable. Where is the target? Okay, so here's the target. And the target is this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge them. And okay, so this data and then data and target. Yeah, now let's see the data. Absolutely perfect. Now I'll export it to as CSV, and then I will show you this in Excel. So this is this data. Is the spelling of diabetes right? Not at all. Diabetes data. CSV. All right. So we have done this, and where is it? Diabetes. Where have I saved it? Okay, it's over here. Okay. So I should have put index is equal to none is equal to false. Okay. So this is the data set. And now, how can you perform linear regression on this data set? Okay. So what is linear regression? Can anyone just tell me? What do you understand by linear regression? Or any kind of regression? Anyone? What do you understand by linear regression or regression in general? Anyone who has taken MLP before TDS? Anyone? MLP, MLF. So that was, I guess, MLF is a prerequisite of TDS. So you guys pretty much know about regression. Even if you have forgotten and you have few memories of that, you can speak about.
I have currently taken MLP.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So linear regression is something we have to calculate the value which is and predict the target value whether it's
Exactly.
correctly
So we have
predicted or
to
not.
predict the target
Testing the
value.
weights.
Yeah. So we have to do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to segregate this data into test and train. So that would be much, that would just add a layer of complexity and fun to it. Okay. So let's paste it. Paste it. All right. Let's copy the headers as well. By the way, guys, are you able to understand what I'm doing over here? Or is it just going over your heads? All right. So that's pretty good. You're able to understand. Even and anytime you have any kind of error, any kind of doubt, just let me know. Okay. So this is our training data and this is our testing data. So what's the concept behind training and testing? It's nothing but we are going to train our regression model on train, and then we are going to test our model on the regression on the trained model. All right. So for a regression task, you need to have a kind of what is it called, a plugin, a data analytics plugin. So I guess I will provide you the link to download this plugin, but you can just go to Google and just search for data analysis plugin for Excel, and you can simply download it from. So okay. Okay, guys. So what we're going to do is, by the way, is this level of magnification in Excel enough, or should I magnify it even more? Okay, I'll just magnify it. That's fine. Okay. So over here, you can see that I have two extensions for analytics. So one is solver and another is data analytics analysis. So uh, you guys can download this extension. It's not an extension; it's a plugin. You guys can download this plugin from the from internet, and it can work. Uh, like you can perform multiple analysis tasks using this. Okay, so I'll be performing the regression task. So it's pretty simple. Just click on data analysis. Then you can see that you have been given multiple options to choose from, and one of them is regression. Okay, and by the way, if you guys remember something from stats 2, then you might remember this test, z test, rank percentile, moving averages, right, f test. So all these things belong to uh, stats 2, and you can just play along with these as well if you remember. Okay, so just go to regression, click OK, and it's asking me for the X range and the Y range. By the way, can anyone tell me what's an X range and what's the Y range? And what's the significance of these two arrays? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, so the meaning behind these X and Y ranges is that X range contains all the independent variables in your data, and Y range is the dependent variable. So I won't be getting into much depth about what's independent and what's dependent, because that's something you uh, you can learn from the internet. Okay, but the main concept is that the model will be training on the X ranges, on the independent features, to predict the Y range, which is the target variable. Okay, so this is how it works. Now, because I have the labels, the names of the columns as well, so I will be selecting this labels option. Okay, and you have to check nothing. Okay, just click on OK. All right, so it has given you something. I will just rename the sheet to analysis. Okay, so this has given you some kinds of outputs, and you can see what is. Okay, so this is the regression output, summary output, and you can see that we have got multiple statistics. So I will just quickly go over what these statistics really mean. So R square, what does R square mean? Can anyone just tell me what does R square mean? You guys have been really quiet this meeting, I would say, and just just go ahead and speak something. Just interact with me, because it's like just I'm teaching an empty class at the moment. Just try and interact with me. I also make me feel that I'm part of a class. I'm teaching a class, not just empty benches. Anyone? What's R square? Anyone with the slightest clue? Yeah, Tanya.
So it will tell how the data is fitted.
Exactly. That's a really good analogy, Tanya. So R square is basically a measure of how well your data has been fit on your data set. How well your model has been fit on your data set. Okay. So R square indicates that, and you can see that. So the range of R square is about from 0 to 1. Okay. But it's 0.15, so that means that the model isn't performing much well, but that's not the concern for this session. The model can perform anyhow. Okay, so these are the other summary statistics you can see. By the way, if you haven't watched this video on a TDS portal about regression in Excel, you can just go ahead and watch that. The instructor over there has explained all these different uh, variables as well. But anyway, I will be explaining you what does this means. So this coefficient is actually what we have to multiply in our data to get the output. Okay, so I will just demonstrate it rather than speaking it to you. So first uh, this is my first data point which I want to predict from. Okay, so let's just say I didn't have this target value. Okay, let's say I don't have this target, I will just hide it. Okay, so this is the test data set. So the very reason behind the test data set is that you don't have this target value. So in in real regression, we are trying to fit a model which would be able to predict the target, right? And in test, we won't have a target. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict that target for us. Okay, I've just hidden it. I myself don't know which target, what's the value of for this, what's the value of the target for this particular row. Okay, so let's take a random row, 12th. Okay, and head back over here. And what I will do is, so I will transform this. So this is my data point. Okay, it's just a data point, a data row, and I am going to take these coefficients. Okay, so these are the coefficients we have to multiply with these values. Okay, and we have to add this intercept separately. Okay, so guys, are you able to understand what I'm getting? Do you have any clue what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Or
y
any
equals
just
to mx plus c. So
exactly
that's the
y
formula.
is equal to mx plus c. So if you guys have gone through the MLF and MLT courses, this must be just kind of a revision for you. So if you guys know about this, just speak up. Don't be kind of don't hesitate from speaking up. Okay, and just make the class much more lively, because uh, these sessions are going to be present on the YouTube YouTube channel of TDS for a long time, for the entire duration of this degree. Well, okay, perhaps it's decades or 2 decades. So let's say if someone from 2 decades later is going to open up this live session. Okay, so let's watch a live session from 2025. Aha, let's give it a try. And what he sees is that one teacher is just teaching and the entire class is just quiet. So he might get a bit disheartened. Okay, so just try to make the class lively. Answer whatever is on your mind, and yeah. So that's what I want. Okay. So by the way, so these are our coefficients. Okay, these are my coefficients. Aha. Okay, these are my coefficients, and this is my intercept. Now let me just put my intercept over here. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to multiply these values and get the answers. So it's pretty simple. It's just multiply, these two values will get multiplied, these two values will get multiplied, these two will get multiplied, and then we have to get the sum of those multiples. Okay, so can anyone tell me what should I do to get what I'm looking for? It's basic Excel now, nothing complicated, nothing much complex. Just
I
answer this.
forgot the formula exactly. It's like some add of one formula is that we can
It
just
was sum.
yeah
Can you
some
see that formula over here?
yeah some product. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
formula.
we'll be using some product.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and
it's
we'll
going to
give
be,
the ranges around x and y.
yeah, we are going to get the ranges, and now it's going to work. Okay, so this is the uh, sum of the products. Fine. And the final step remaining is that we have to add this with the intercept. Okay, so this is the target prediction for this particular data point. Okay, so this is target prediction for this particular data point, and let's check if we are right or not, if we have predicted it correctly or not. Let's just check. So this was the actual value. Okay, so we have to check the 12th now. So, okay, so this is the 12th now. And let's check analysis. Let's put it over here. This is the actual value, actual target actual. Okay, this is target actual and this is target prediction. As and you can see that our prediction is way off. It's not that way off. Actually, we have crossed the 100 mark and we are at 16, but the actual value was 183. Okay, that means the model is not performing well, but this is how you can perform analysis, and then this is how you can perform. You can actually make predictions. Okay, so any questions until now? Any questions, guys? Because let me be honest, if you are not asking questions, and then
Can you go to
perhaps
that train sheet
yeah,
once?
train sheet, yeah,
Yeah, okay. Okay, this is the actual value or like predicted.
this is the actual value.
Okay, and prediction is based on the test, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
predictions are being made on the test.
Okay, you pasted here and it all came right.
Yeah, I just removed these rows from the very last and pasted them over here.
No, no, the target I'm asking. That formula is correct or not? I'm just want to check.
Yeah, this formula is absolutely correct, but the thing is that it's not able to predict very well.
Okay. No, you can. I want to just check whether the test of in test sheet target one. Yeah.
In test sheet, target
Target.
one. This
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, I just click. That's just number, right?
yeah,
How they do.
that's just a number. Yeah. What else did you think?
No, no, no. I thought you copied and pasted the formula here and it just dragged it out.
No. Uh, I just made those predictions over here. I just did it for just one data point,
Okay.
which is this 12th row. Just for
Okay,
this.
fine, fine, fine.
Yeah. By the way, guys, any other questions? Or should we move ahead? And let me tell you, perhaps this will, uh, perhaps this kind of thing might come in the end term as well. Okay, perhaps we will ask you what's the coefficient, what's how you can make the predictions out of it. So this is one thing that can come in the end term, and then you might think, okay, so Farhan sir was asking me to ask the question, but I didn't at that point of time, and now I'm going to struggle. I'm going to lose the marks. So if you have a question, just ask me. Or yeah, any more questions, or should we move ahead?
So,
Yeah, Chaitanya.
what is the importance of this T stat?
Okay. So this T stat, if I am not wrong, this is the statistics. Uh, this is the confidence value, I guess, of where our data set, where this particular point stands on the distribution. I'll be honest, I'm not much good with statistics, and T stat is something which I learned in stats too, but I have forgotten. So it has been about 2 years since then. So yeah, if you can just search for that, and I would say that T-stat won't be something which might come in your in term. So yeah, so we can ask you how you can actually make predictions given a particular data point, and how you can actually make predictions, and then we may give you the screenshot of this entire table, and then ask you to, okay, you have been given this data point, make some predictions. Kindly make some predictions. What's the predicted value? So this can be there. Okay.
Do we ask regarding the missing value in ANOVA table?
Which one?
Like we'll give like few will have remove that residual DF value from the ANOVA table and we'll ask what is the residual DF.
You're asking for the degrees of freedom.
Yeah, degrees of freedom. Like that questions will be there.
I don't think we will be asking from degrees of freedom, because that's BA course. So business analytics course deals with that, and TDS usually doesn't. But our questions can come from like make some predictions using these coefficients.
Okay.
That can be one kind of question.
So
Okay.
ANOVA will not be there mostly.
Yeah, I don't think that it would be there.
Okay.
Okay. So let's move ahead to the next question. Already it's we have passed the 1 hour mark. Yeah, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, here it is. All right. So the next is forecasting with Excel. Okay, and for this we need what's it? It's called. We need a time series data set for this. And again, I don't have a data set for this. So what we can do is, uh, so it's a basic formula. It's just a forecast. Okay, so we have been given this tracking test. Okay, thank you. We have been given this data set. Okay, so we have been given data sets over here as well. I haven't checked that. That would have saved a lot of time. But all right. Okay, so this is a traffic data set, and we have been given uh, we have been given multiple dates, and then we have the information of vehicles. Okay, so what does time series data? What does time series analysis uh, sound to you? What does time series analysis mean to you? Anyone?
So predictions with time.
Exactly. So it's not actually predictions. I would. It's
Forecasting
much
of
more
this
like,
time, right?
yeah, we are going to, yeah, forecasting. Okay, so we are going to actually use time series to predict what's going to come next. Okay, so all these data, these time data. Okay, so these are the dates, and these are times. Okay, so you can see that we these are you know, these are in the intervals of 1 hour, and we have been given this time and then the number of cars which are present over there. So that's an entire data of 1400 values, and we are going to perform that forecasting. It's a view only. All right. I'll make a copy of it. Make okay. So let's run the forecast. Forecast. Okay, so it's asking me for okay, so it's asking that this is for the this one, and okay, it's asking me for that as well. I guess I have, okay. So the value on the x to forecast, on the value on the x axis to forecast. Okay, the data range is representing the data matrix of dependent. Okay, let's okay. So this X actually is the test data set. Okay, so it's the test value we want to predict. Okay, so let's just say, guys, we have been given this data set, and we have the data from. So let's make it readable at least, and I'll format it. So this convert to no. I want to change the format of
You
this.
can use as chart, right? That would be easier, right?
We can use
Chart.
chart. Yeah, we can use that as well. But just a second. I will make it August, and here should be 2 digits. That's how I like to look at dates. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's create a chart, just like Telvin suggested. Okay, and it will be insert, then chart, and yeah. So this is the data set. So this is the chart, and uh, we can see that there is a kind of seasonality present over here. Can anyone spot that seasonality? Seasonality basically means a kind of pattern which we can observe in a course of time. So we can see that we hit a peak and then we go down. We hit a peak and then we go down, and that too at the very center between these two values. So it's like uh, during from 8 to 7, from 8 to 22 of November. Something is happening over there. Yes, in
In
on
each
15th
year,
of November, it
its
was,
forecast, like first 3 days it's been peaked, and
yeah.
last 3 days it's been peaked.
Can you please repeat?
In each fourth night, first 3 days it's been peaked, and last 3 days it's been
Yeah,
peaked.
yeah. So we can see that it's going up, down, up, down. Up. So a kind of seasonality is being present. All right. So, plotting time series data always gives you a kind of sense, where am I getting it? Is there a seasonality there or not? So let's say if I had a completely noisy data set with no regular patterns present and just irregularities with it. So that would mean that this data set has no, so that means that this data set won't be able to get what I'm looking at. Okay. So that's one thing. And but we can see that a kind of pattern has emerged over there, and let's leverage that pattern. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, can you see this? We have our data till December 31st, 2015. Let's do one thing. I'm not satisfied with this. I want to see I want to see what can be the number of cars, the traffic on, let's say, first of January 2016 to 15th of January 2016. Okay, so that's what I want. What I will do is, I will add it over here. Fine. Now I will change the data. So it should be 1, it should be 0, 1, and then 1st of January 2016. Okay, so it's over here, and okay, let's do one thing. I will just make it over here, or yeah, we can do that also. So that was perfect. Okay, so this is our data, and we want to add the time as well. So the time would be 0 c. Okay, so this is the time, and let's make some. All right, so it's making them, but it's not actually. Uh, we have to increment them by hours, so it would be like this one, and let's see if it works. Yeah, it's working, and let's get a forecast for the entirety, and let's also get a forecast for 2nd of January as well. Is it giving us? No, it's not giving us. Okay. Let's do one thing. This is done, and okay, so we are going to forecast till 2nd of January till 4 a.m. Okay, let's forecast. So these are our forecasting values. Forecast values and our predictions. Right. So now let's run the forecast function. So it's forecast, and then what we have to do is select this one, because I want to make the forecast for this. And now next it's going to ask us for the X data. So what's X? This is the X data. Okay. I am going to freeze all the rows and columns. Next, what's the Y? It's the number of vehicles. I'm going to freeze them as well. Let's make a predictions.
How did you
Uh,
freeze that?
can you please repeat?
Yeah, how did you freeze that? Both rows and columns together.
Oh, it was pretty simple. Uh, I just selected those values. I just selected it. Yes. And now what I will do is, I will let forecast, then this value, and then I'm going to select this. Okay, so I just selected it by just go over there,
Control
press
shift down.
Control
Yeah.
Shift and down, and then press F4. It will
F4.
do it
Okay.
for you. So if F4 doesn't work, just press Function key and then F4. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's another term. Okay, let's see F4 and let's go. Okay, so it's giving us some very, very bizarre values. That's not expected. Okay, let's just swap these positions once. Perhaps that's the error. Let's see. Okay, that was the error.
Because y comma x is becoming a
Huh?
parameters here. Forecast
Yeah, it was.
parameters are test y comma x.
Yeah, I guess that's what mistake was. Let's see. Yeah, it was data y. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So it was data y. That's what. That's why it was giving us those bizarre values. Actually. Okay. So it should be over here, and it should be like this. Okay. This and done. All right. So this is what it's predicting, and it's predicting that it would be kind of constantly giving us 21. Okay, so let's just see what was the count on the last year. It was 15. Okay, so I guess this is how you will make those predictions. So it's pretty simple. The formula is pretty simple. Just uh, this x is the value which you want to predict for. This y is the number of vehicles, and then the x is the dates. Okay, this is how you make those predictions. Okay, and I'm not sure why is it giving me uh, in this range of 21. I guess the data was not that in season. Okay, so I guess the seasonality was really low. The seasonality trend was really low. That's why it's giving us these constant values, just just nudging the decimal pointers here and there. Okay. So that can be the reason, and one more reason can be that perhaps if we change the value of the if we change the year, if we change the month from January to November, perhaps then it will be giving us better value. So it's just test it. Okay, so it should be one, because sometimes what happens is it will expect you to. Okay, it's now it's range. Okay, okay, so I don't think that it would change much. Okay, so this is how you make forecasting in Excel.
No, issue is that in December it's been increasing, right? That's why it's taking that trend.
Yeah, in December, I guess. Actually, you can see that in November, the let's check the mean for November. Okay, the mean for November would be around this 25 and 24. That's why it's giving us that. I can use a COUNTIF as well, but I'm just too lazy for that. Okay, so on this ending, it's ending 721. So the mean, okay, 721. Why is it doing like this?
Formula's average, right?
Okay, it's average. All right. Okay. 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 Where is it? Yeah, it's 20. So that's why perhaps it's giving me. Okay, so I just changed it. So that's okay. It's giving me values within 24, and then it's increasing. Okay, so the thing is, what I can understand is actually it picked up the trend from November to December, which was like in November the mean value is 20. Then in December the mean value will be around 20 as well, and then it predicted the values till 21 from from January. Now, if I predict the values for February, they're going to we are going to see some increase in the values. Okay, and now after February, if you check for multiple uh, multiple months in the very future, let's say if you're going to just like we checked for November, it's going to give you a higher value, because what this forecast has done is, okay, I'll be drawing over this screen now. second. So what does this forecast actually do is, so let's say this is my actual data up till now. It was like this. You guys are able to see my annotation, right? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. So uh, this was the point where till where I had my data. I had my actual data, and the forecast has been trained up till now. Okay. Now, what it will do is, what it will do is, it will pick that. Okay, so this is the place where we actually left. Now it will move my bar like this. It will just constantly increase it like this. Okay, so that's why in January we are able to see a much more, we are able to see 21, because that's much more closer to November, the mean value of November. That's the reason, and that would be much more closer to December as well. But as we go to November 2020, 2016, then we are able to see 24 values. And then if you go to 2017, then perhaps you will see values crossing 30 as well. So that's how this forecast is actually picking up stuff, which is not good, but that's all we have. Okay, there are multiple other ways to get a much more better time series forecasting, but that's all what we are dealing with in this current uh, module. Okay, so the next one is outlier detection is in Excel. So that's pretty simple. Uh, okay, where is it? COVID-19 data. Or perhaps you can do it on the uh, this one as well. Okay, so this is the data which I perform the correlation uh, coefficient on. So I'll be deleting these annotations. Have you guys, by the way, have you guys understood what I tried to explain over here, guys?
No, sir.
You weren't able to understand. Okay. The thing is that okay. The thing is that when forecast, so the forecast is able to, it's been trained over here. It's going through all these. So this is the, let me just mark it. So this is the train. This is the train. Okay, and this is the test values. So what does this forecast function does is, and what I believe it is doing is, it's actually picking up. So it's picking up the trend from here. Okay, so it was from here. It was like about 20. Then it picked up from there, and now it's, so perhaps the mean value of December would be around 20 21. Then it picks up that, and then it started increasing it. So in January it was 21. Okay, and then it started increasing it gradually. By November 2016, by November of 2016, it's going to give you 24. Okay, then perhaps by November, let's say November of 2020, 2017, it will perhaps cross the 30 line as well. So it's like going in a linear trend now, kind of. Okay, so this forecast function is actually, I guess it's not much reliable, but that's all we have to deal with. Okay, nothing much more. Is it understood, Tanya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me just read these annotations. We are all okay. So now we have to deal with outliers. So guys, what do you mean by outliers? What do you understand by outliers? Anyone? What do you understand by outliers?
Yeah, so I know on the basis of percentile,
Yeah, please tell me what's outliers.
which are lower than 25% and higher than 75 percentile.
Exactly. So you are very close, and I will just show you how you can get these outliers. So the outliers, let me just plot this, and then perhaps you'll be able to understand what I'm getting at. So and is there an option for box plot? box and whisker. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so none of the values are outside the box, so I guess I should download the data set which is present over here. Okay, so I'll download this. This one, this one. Yeah. So I'll file, make a copy. All right, so data has been loaded, and uh, insert column, column, insert the column, the right. Okay. So this is the data for new cases. Let's plot our box plot on this, and let's check. So there are multiple uh, missing values as well, but let's just ignore that. So I'll be inserting a chart, and it would be a box and whisker. And box and whisker. Yeah, here it is. Requires at least 5 columns, but one was provided. Okay. Let's copy it to our Excel. That's much better to work with. Okay. Paste special. Okay, so I've copied the new cases data from there, and now I'll be inserting a chart. The chart would be box and whisker. Absolutely. So this is a much better graph as compared to the previous one. So can you guys see? Tanya, what all points would you classify as outliers?
I think above the line.
Exactly. So above the line. So this line is actually the upper bound of this box plot, and anything which is above the upper bound and lower than the lower bound is an outlier. Okay. So now how you can calculate these upper and lower bounds? So by the way, this understood? How can you is this understood? How can you just interpret a box plot? Should I explain it once again? Anyone? Monisha, Nilima, is it understood?
Yes, understood.
Okay. So can you please tell me how can I calculate this upper bound for the box?
So, which is above the line?
Yeah, that's above the line. But do you have any idea how can I calculate this upper bound for this box plot? So this line over here, it's the upper bound. How can I calculate this? You can say that I don't know. Uh, that's much appreciated.
Yes, don't know.
Okay, got it. So we'll be calculating the upper bound and the lower bounds. Okay, and that's a very simple thing to do. And how you can do it? It's firstly we'll be calculating the quartiles. Okay, so again, this kind of question can come in the end term to perhaps calculate the quartile. So just be aware of that. Okay, so how you can calculate the quartiles? Simple. So I'll be calculating the first quartile. So for calculating the outliers, it's we just have to use the first and the third quartile. Okay, and how you can calculate these quartiles? Simply use the quartile function. Okay, so I guess this is the one. Okay, this is the quartile function, and select this entire array, freeze it using quart one. So I'll be using the first quartile. Okay. So I'll be writing the formula for the third quartile. All right, I'll freeze it now. Okay, just a second. Can anyone tell me how did I freeze these all rows? I just told you guys just now.
So Control Shift and plus F4.
Okay, so Control Shift and down arrow was for selecting them,
Yes, sir.
and for freezing was F4.
F4.
Okay, so yeah, just simply press F4. Okay, that's good. And now we set in the third quartile. So these are the quartiles. So what are quartiles? They're nothing but percentiles. Okay, so now again you might ask what are percentiles. So if I'm not wrong, percentiles are the point. Uh, let's say if I'm going to calculate the, so this quartile one is the 25th percentile, and quartile 3 is the 75th percentile. Okay, so what are these percentiles mean? Percentile means that 25th percentile means that, have, let's say you are sitting in an exam, okay, and you scored 974 marks. Okay, so and you have been told that you got a percentile of 25. So that means that 25% of students who gave the exam have scored less than you. Okay, so that's the meaning of percentile, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so and the same stands for the 75th percentile. So if you are uh, having this particular score, this gigantic score, if you are having this, then that means that you have a percentile of 75. Okay, so this is the meaning of so that means that your marks are more than 75% of the people. So let's say must have heard this whenever the entire JE advance and JE means row starts up, that I have got a percentile of that a person got a percentile of 99, let's say. So having a percentile of 99 means that he scored more than 99% of people who appeared for the exam. Yes, that's the meaning of percentile. Okay, so we have calculated our quartiles, and what next we have to do? We have to calculate the interquartile, which is IQR, and that's nothing but the difference between these two. Okay, that's nothing but the difference between the quartile 3, Q3 minus Q1. Okay, next we have to calculate the upper and the lower bounds. Lower bound and upper bound. All right, so these are the upper bound and these are lower bounds. How you can calculate the upper and the lower bounds? For that we also have a formula. Okay, and that's again pretty simple. I'll show you. It's the formula is, so I'll be writing it over. The formula is Q1 minus IQR into 1.5.
1.5. Yes.
Yeah. So Tanya or anyone else, just tell me how can I make this happen. Excellent. Tanya, can you go ahead? I can compute this.
So fix the value of Q1. We will just write the formula in Excel, nothing else.
Exactly. I want to write the formula in Excel, but how?
Yeah.
Just tell me. I'm a newbie. I'm a entire newbie and I don't
Yeah.
know anything about Excel. So
E,
Tanya, ma'am, please guide me.
yeah, E3 equal to E3.
Okay. E3. Okay.
Oh, no.
E3.
Yeah, E2, sir, sorry, E2.
E2. Okay.
E2 minus I, this one is D5
Yes. D5.
multiplied by 1.5.
Exactly. That's what we are. Okay. And for the upper bound, the formula is quite simple. So Tanya, would you like to uh, tell the class the formula? It's pretty similar to the lower bound formula.
Yes, Q3. I'm
Q3.
just guessing, sir.
Yeah,
Plus
sure.
IQR
Plus
into 1.5
IQR
into
into
1.5.
1.5. Exactly, that's the exact form. Okay, and it's exactly the same thing that we have to do, which is I'll just copy this. I won't write the formula once again, and it's plus E3. So this is the upper bound, this is the lower bound, and this is the upper bound. Now, any data value, any data value which is above upper bound and lower than the lower bound is an outlier, straight away out. Okay, so can anyone tell me, Rojwal, you just answered in the chat box, so that's really good, and your answer was also right. So can anyone tell me what formula should I write over here to get those values? I just want, let's say, if this 85,171, if this is an outlier, I want a 1, and if it is not an outlier, I just want a 0. Can anyone tell me how can I do this?
Is number of if condition.
Uh-huh.
Is number and then if condition we can use.
Is number and then if condition.
Yeah.
Why do you want to use this number?
Yeah. So that we can get the value 0, 1.
But then is number will give you if that particular number is a number or not. But as we can see that all these values are numbers.
Okay.
Why would I use this number?
Directly also if we can use.
Yeah,
If
exactly. We can directly use an if. Exactly.
multiple if. Yeah.
Yeah. So if, and then we have to give the logical test. And for that, it's pretty simple. Click over here because we want to test this one. Okay, we want to test A1. Is it above upper bound? Okay. Let's just freeze the upper bound. Again, I just pressed F4 and it just freezed all the rows and the columns. Okay. Is it above the upper bound? Okay. So it's asking me. So as you can see that the syntax of if, it's value if true and value if false. Okay. So it's like this. So this is value if true. Okay. Just okay. So it's value if true and value if false. Okay. So if it is true that this is above that, then you should give a 1. Otherwise, I will run another if statement, which will be A1. Is it less than the lower bound? Let's check and freeze this one as well. And if this is true, then I will give a 1, else a 0. Okay, this should. Let's check, and I'll apply a filter. For that, I will give some values. A, and this is outlier. Let's apply a filter, and I want to see all the outliers. So these values, these 247, 242 values are the outliers, 100%. And this is how you actually detect these outliers in Excel. Okay, it's exactly the same in Python as well. Okay, it's exactly the same in Python, and that's how you can do in Python as well. Okay, any doubts or should we move ahead?
So in another if condition, you have given one. So can you explain this?
Yeah, I can explain this entire formula. So the thing is that in this formula, what I'm doing. So can you guys see this syntax of if? The syntax of if. Yeah, I'll delete this annotation. Okay. So can you guys see this syntax of it? It's asking me to give the logical test, then the value if true, and then the value if false. Okay, it's straightforward. So first one is we are firstly checking if this A2 is greater than the upper bound or not. Okay, because if it is greater than the upper bound, then it's outlier, right? So if it is true, then you should definitely give a 1. Okay. If it is not true, then we don't know that if it is lower than the upper bound, lower than the lower bound or not. Right, Tanya? Tanya, is that part understood? Because if it is not greater than the upper bound, then we have no surety if it is lower than the lower bound as well, isn't it? Tanya. And in the similar way, if it is we don't have this surety, then we will run another if condition, and over here we are checking if a2 is less than the lower bound or not. Okay, if it is less than the lower bound, then surely it is less than the upper bound. But if it is okay, sir, so it surely is, it's less than the upper bound, but it's also less than the lower bound. That means it's an outlier. Okay, so for outlier, uh yeah, so if it is an outlier, we will just give a one. Okay, so so outliers, so basically what are outliers? Outlier should be it should be greater than, it should be either greater than the upper bound or lower than the lower bound. Okay, so this is how you calculate the outlier. Any questions, or should we move ahead? Guys, any questions? Next is Python. And Panda is one of my favorite languages. So if you don't have any questions, we can move ahead. All right, so let's move ahead with Python. So okay, so let's move ahead with Python. And yeah, by the way, let's just have a look at the questions in our uh, seek portal once. Just a second. I have bookmarked it. Marks. Yeah, that's that. Let me have a look. Okay, so this is my grade assignment 6. And so what we will do over here is that that's pretty simple. This first question is pretty simple, and you just have to calculate the Pearson correlation coefficient. Okay, that's pretty doable. Next question is the exactly same one. You have to calculate the Pearson correlation coefficient. You can do this entire thing in Excel or Python. That's up to you. Okay. Next is calculating the predictions. Okay, so here we have to perform the predictions, and this might. Okay, so do you guys want me to take this part or not? This regulation part, or you want to give it a try yourself? Let's do one thing. You guys can give this question a try yourself. Okay, so yeah, so let's do one thing. You guys can give this question a try, and it's just basic regression, just like we did right now using that regression package. Okay, so one thing which I can demonstrate how you can do regression in Python. Okay, so this must be something that you guys might not know how to do. Okay, so let's okay, so this is the diabetes data set. Okay, so I'll be demonstrating how you can make those exact predictions in the low diabetes data set. All right, so this is the data set. And let me see. That's done. And yeah, let's have a look. So this is our entire data set, and we have the target variable present over here, right? So what we have to do is I will create separate variables for the independent variables and the dependent variables. Okay, so what are the independent variables? Can anyone tell me what are independent variables? Anyone? What are the independent variables?
There are actually features.
Yeah, they're features, but all of these are features as well. So what are the independent variables and what is the dependent variable? The thing is that the dependent variable and the dependent variable is the one we are trying to predict. Okay, so target is the feature we are trying to predict. Okay, so you guys must be thinking that target is already given to us, then why are we trying to predict? Okay, the thing is that let's say you have been given, so let's say a patient comes to you and he has uh, this particular uh, data value. So let's just see that we have the names of these features as well or not. I guess we will have the names of the features. So we have a target. Do we have feature names? Let's do one thing. Let's do the keys. Let's see. So, yeah, we have a feature names. So this is the data. This is the data, and these are the columns. Calls. It's feature names. Okay, so it's load diabetes feature names. Like this. All right, and then data dot columns is equal to calls. I hope this works. Let's check for data. Yeah, here we have. Okay, so these are the parameters on which a person is been tested upon. Okay, so all these values are the data for a particular person, and then we are checking that perhaps the level of diabetes this person might have. Okay, so let's just say that I have this entire data set, and let's say a new person comes to me with some new parameters, some new values for these parameters. Now I have to predict if this person has which what is the level of diabetes this person has. So for that we are building this model. Okay, so how you can build a linear regression model in Python? I'll be showing you this. Okay, so this is the data set. All right. So let's have a look. So firstly, I will be segregating my data into X and Y. Okay. So this X is the independent variables and the Y are the dependent variables. All right. So for this, we will be this. Okay. It's S1, S3, and we also want S4. Then we want S4, S5, and X6 as well. So Codem is suggesting me a lot. All right. So this is done. So these are the two. First, I should magnify this. All right. This must be much more better for you. Okay. So this is how I have partitioned my data. So I have this entire column segregated out from my data set, and the entire data set is being stored in this X variable, except the target. Okay. Okay. So let's just check the X. So it has everything except the target, and the Y is simply the target. Okay. So that's done. Now what we have to do is we have to run a train test split. Okay. So yeah, let's run a train test split. So what is this train test split used for? So in this entire data set we don't have any test value. Okay. So like I just told you that perhaps a new person comes to us with some new parameters. And then we have to make some prediction on that. Now we don't have that particular new person coming up to us right now. Okay, and we have to test our model as well. So that's why we split our data set into two parts, which are training sets. It's a training set. Okay, so the training set contains the X train and the Y train, and the X test and Y test are the testing sets. Okay, so this is let's run it, and from it has been loaded. Let's check. X train, it's running. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the X train, and it has been randomly selected. By the way, guys, is do you guys have any doubts until this moment? Any doubts, or should I move ahead with the model building part? Okay, let's move ahead. By the way, I should have skipped this value as well. But let's just go ahead. Okay, so I'll be showing you the entire model building part and the of this data set. Yes, this is how you
So
actually build a model and
is
test
week
it.
six is week six or only like what we did in MLT,
It's
MLT
not
and
entirely what we did in MLP, but
MLP,
it's like
MLP.
MLP. It's not entirely what we did in MLP, but it's more about data analysis. Okay, and one part
Okay.
of that is regression. Okay, we have taught you guys how to do regression in Excel, and now I'm teaching you how to do it in Pandas as in Python as well. Okay, so I don't think that week 6 contains anything about uh, uh, anything about doing these regression in Python, but I just want to show you guys how you can do it in Python. Okay, because the thing is that in sometimes, let's say you have been given a data set, and it's about, let's say, 1 lakh, it has 1 lakh rows, and you have been told to perform some kind of regression task on that. And then I'm telling you guys that if you're trying to run a regression task on in Excel with 1 lakh rows, it's going to hang, and it's going to hang very bad. Okay, so
Mm.
for that you should always use Python. Okay, so just make a train test split. Let's see. So this is my X train, and then we have, let's check X test as well. This is the X test. So now the only part remains is that of creating that model. So model creation. Okay, so for that we just have to import few stuff, which is from sklearn dot linear model, import linear regression. That's it. Okay, to import linear regression, and then we have the model of linear regression. Okay, it's suggesting us everything. So this is how you are actually going to train the model. So that's it. Okay, so machine learning is this. So machine learning in Python is this much only. It's just importing the library from sklearn and then just fitting the model on xtrain and byte. Okay, now the part of predictions, it's nothing but model dot predict x test, and it's going to predict everything. Okay, so these are the predictions which it has made. One thing that you can do is you can check the score. Let's check the score, and okay, you have to pass the y test. Okay, the score. So what is the score? So just like in Excel, we just saw that we had this R square value. So exactly like that in Panda, in Python, you can how you can get the R square value using the score function. Okay, so it will give you the R square value, and this is telling me that this model is not that good at predicting things, but yeah, that's all. We can do much more optimization in the model. We can add a few hyperparameters as well, but that's not the agenda for this session. Okay, so this is how you can actually do actually create a model, can do regression task in Python. Okay, so uh, yeah, that was it, and okay, let's go back to the assignment ones. Okay, so Again, this is the part where you have to apply the outlier detection, which I just told you, the IQR rule and 0.5. Okay, so here we're using the 0.5 multiplier instead of 1.5. Okay, and here you have to find the outliers in the data set. You can use Excel for that, and you can use pandas for that as well. That's pretty, something which you can do. And what else is remaining? Okay, so using the have a sign package, you have to calculate the distance from this command to this. Okay. So guys, do you have any doubts in this entire assignment, and you might want to ask us right now? Any doubts from this assignment that you might want to clarify, and or anything that you might want to clarify on how I should approach this problem? Okay, I guess then uh, Jivraj, would you like to take over now, or you can stop the session? Okay, okay, guys, we have hit. Okay, okay. So, guys, it's 7, and yeah, we should stop the session now. Uh, the only part which is remaining is this QGIS part. Yeah, this QGIS part. Just a second. All right, guys, that's it for today's lecture, today's live session, sorry. And we'll be discussing the rest of the methods of data extraction and data analysis, all these SQL, DB, and geospatial and visualization as well. Also, the networks library as well in the next lecture now. Okay, next live session. So that was it, and thank you for joining. Bye, guys. You can
Thank you,
leave.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.